All right, Tori, thank you very much. With students protesting for gun control all across the country, one group will be able to express its concerns directly to the president.
Students and teachers affected by last week's shooting will head to the White House to talk gun control with President Trump. He'll also meet with parents of students killed at Columbine and Sandy Hook. The president spoke yesterday on the need for some gun reform, including a potential ban on bump stocks. He described the strength and resilience of the survivors of last week's school shooting in Florida. But he also says he made a decision prompted by last fall's shooting in Las Vegas.
I signed a memorandum directing the Attorney General to propose regulations to ban all devices that turn legal weapons into machine guns. I expect that these critical regulations will be finalized, Jeff, very soon.
Today, survivors of the Florida school shooting are at their state's capital pushing for stronger gun control legislation. More than 100 students will meet with lawmakers as well as Florida Governor Rick Scott. As the students are meeting with lawmakers inside, there will be a rally in front of the Capitol in support of gun safety reform. This comes after the Florida House of Representatives rejected a ban on many semi-automatic weapons and large-capacity magazines. That ban would have included the AR-15 the gunman used in the shooting last week. One student who watched the vote unfold says lawmakers will be to blame for the next tragedy.
They had a chance to stop it today. And if there is another mass shooting, it's going to be their fault. If there is another mass shooting here in Florida, it's going to be their fault because they had a chance today. They had a chance to stop it, and they threw that chance away.
The vote failed 36-71, largely along party lines. Governor Scott says he plans to have a proposal on school safety by Friday.
While many people are talking gun control, the Supreme Court has decided not to. The court declined to hear two Second Amendment cases. They each have to do with California gun laws. One of them centered on a 10-day waiting period. The other relates to fees imposed on firearm transactions. Justice Clarence Thomas issued a 14-page dissent saying the court failed to give the Second Amendment the respect it's due. In that dissent, Thomas wrote, quote, "The right to keep and bear arms is apparently this court's constitutional orphan, and the lower courts seem to have gotten the message."
Here's what's happening right now. Sri Lanka's military says an explosion on a passenger bus has injured 19, including a dozen military personnel. It reportedly happened about 120 miles from the country's capital of Colombo. The explosion and the fire that followed caused severe damage to the bus. Officials say the cause is still not known, but it's possible someone may have been carrying a grenade. Police and the military are conducting separate investigations. That's in Sri Lanka this morning.
All right. Thank you, Ange.
Attorney General Josh Hawley has officially announced a plan to fight sexual harassment and discrimination in government. In a story you first heard on KOMU 8 News today, Hawley is partnering with the Women's Foundation to review current harassment policies and recommend new ones. Policies include providing victims with easier ways to file complaints and providing clear examples of harassment and discrimination.
I think you're going to see across the board a reduction in sexual harassment, a reduction in sexual harassment claims because the policies, procedures have been put into place.
Last year, there was more than $8 million in payment claims filed under the Missouri Human Rights Act.
Icy weather swept across the western side of the state last night, and some people are feeling the effects early this morning. Sedalia crews say they're working 24 hours to treat the roads. Crews are working to clear main streets first, then they'll move to the side and the residential streets. The rain posed quite a bit of a challenge for road crews earlier because rain often washes the pre-treatments away.
Treatment is kind of worthless when you have the rains. When the ice starts and it's actually starting to stick, then we have a lot better luck with pre-treatment. The city does have crews out 24 hours today doing a salt and sand mixture.
For a full list of weather-related closings, you can visit our website at KOMU.com. It's not just mid-Missouri dealing with the bad weather. Several states could see severe flooding and some other problems today. Flood warnings have been in effect in Illinois, Indiana, and Michigan, along with flood watches in Texas and Arkansas. The Weather Service issued winter weather advisories for parts of Oklahoma, Kansas, North Dakota, Iowa, Minnesota, Wisconsin, and right here in Missouri.
Getting rid of rodents in downtown Columbia might be as simple as changing the way trash is thrown out. KOMU 8's Rob Vino is live in downtown Columbia to tell us about a new plan to clean up the streets. Rob?
Columbia Solid Waste and the Community Improvement District will be hosting an interested party meeting tonight. The topic, whether or not to add 3 new trash compactors like the one behind me throughout the city to try to improve trash disposal. Now, as you can see, there is a ton of overflowing trash just right here. One official I talked to said that this would help the downtown area reduce the number of overflowing trash, as well as reduce the risk of contaminants getting into streams and lakes through bacteria actually getting sent in through rainwater into the stormwater drainage. One solid waste official I also talked to said that this would also prevent the potential for uninvited guests.
Trash on the ground it can attract other things. It can attract rodents, mice, rats, insects. The harmful vectors become vectors that can spread disease.
The plan, as you can see on your screens, puts 2 new compactors, one right by my house and grill off of South 7th Street, and another one near an alley on East Broadway. All the members are in public are not only invited but encouraged to go to the meeting this afternoon at 4 p.m. Reporting live in downtown Columbia, Rob Vino, KOMU8 News.
Governor Greitens visited the veterans' home in Mexico after a series of investigations into Missouri's 6 veterans' homes. The investigations revealed the Mexico and Warrensburg locations were rated the highest. Cape Girardeau and Cameron were both at the bottom of the list. Results showed more than 55% dissatisfaction among veterans, staff, and family in Cameron.
The government had failed our veterans. The state government had failed our veterans. The national government, the VA, had failed our veterans. And that's why we took strong action.
Says the men and women who've served our country deserve more from the system.
The Ashland Police Department began monitoring and patrolling southern Boone County schools. The district says it's an effort to increase police presence on school grounds. The officers will work alongside the district's school resource officers. The school superintendent says the district will benefit from that extra protection in the wake of the Parkland shooting. He hopes other districts will adopt the practice.
I would love to see partnerships like this throughout school districts. I know that here in Boone County, the Sheriff's Department and our local police departments have great working relationships with each of the school districts, and so I have no doubt that as a county our kids are safe.
Felmley says he has no intention of ending the partnership in the near future. We asked other districts in our viewing area about their relationships with police departments. Columbia Public Schools has 8 active community outreach officers in many of its elementary and middle schools, along with 4 full-time school resource police officers who serve the district. South Callaway says it's bringing in a school resource officer next fall. Jefferson City Public Schools is currently discussing what police presence should look like in that district.
An in-depth study from USA Today found nearly all of the women participating had experienced some form of sexual harassment or assaults in their Hollywood careers. 94% of the women surveyed reported being harassed or assaulted. 21% say they've been forced to do something sexual at least once. One of the people who reported the harassment or assault, just 28% say their workplace situation improved after reporting it.
Veteran Affairs